Okay, so my Etsy print-on-demand store has recently reached 1,000 sales, and in today's video I'd like to give you a breakdown of how long it took me to reach 1,000 sales on Etsy, the breakdown of the sales, the analytics, and where the traffic came from, and I'll also be revealing how much profit I made from 1,000 Etsy sales. Okay, so starting off, I'd like to talk about the sales and analytics of this Etsy store. Now, this Etsy store has been active since December 2023, and you might be thinking, that's been active for a very long time. You've only got 1,000 sales. Why are you making YouTube videos when your Etsy store isn't even that big? And the reason my Etsy store isn't that big is because I put more of a focus on to Shopify. Now, as you can see, my Shopify has about 6 times the amount of orders my Etsy store does. And that is because I like the branding control you get on Shopify. I like the fact the fees are much lower. I like the fact you can retarget customers with email marketing. And I also like the fact you can install third-party apps and really brand your Shopify store exactly how you want to brand it. So I basically market my Shopify store through short form content on TikTok and Instagram. And that is the reason why my Shopify figures are so much higher than my Etsy. I kind of market my Shopify and I just let my Etsy run in the background on SEO. So moving on, let's get into the Etsy stats. So 1,003 sales, 173 active listings and 113 reviews, which is basically around a 10% purchase to review rate. And a little tip I'd like to give you if you are starting an Etsy store, you can boost your purchase to review rate and really get the ball rolling a lot quicker if you follow customers up, ask for a review in exchange for a discount code. That is something that I did at the start of this Etsy store, and yeah, I just found it helped get the ball rolling a lot quicker. So yeah, as you can see, this Etsy store has been active since December 2023. And we're in April 2025 now. So in that time period, it's got 37,000 visits, 893 orders. This number here doesn't count bundle orders, whereas this number counts bundle orders. A conversion rate of 2.4% and a revenue of just over £19,000. So I will say, this store does get quite a lot of bundle orders and the conversion percent is quite high. I think I've got over here, the average e-com conversion is anywhere from 1 to 3%. So I'm on the higher end of the average for conversion rates. And I'm also getting quite a few bundle orders. And that is the importance of having a niche focused store. So if you've got an Etsy store, Shopify store, which is focused on a niche, you'll not only get more bundle orders because customers will like 2, 3, 4 items in your store and bundle them together. And the conversion rate will also be higher because you know exactly who you're designing for and who your items are targeted for. So this is a breakdown of the revenue month by month. If you want to pause the video here and have a look how that developed, feel free. I'm not going to read it out because it'd be quite lengthy. But yeah, you can see in June was my best month on this Etsy store, and I'm kind of consistently getting over £1,000, around 30 to 40 sales a month on this Etsy store, which I'm completely happy with because, like I say, I put more of a focus into my Shopify and marketing through short form content. The Etsy, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit lazy with it, and it does just run on SEO and Etsy ads, which I'll show you shortly. So this is a breakdown of my traffic. You can see Etsy brought in 79% of the visits, and most of this is through search, SEO, that kind of thing. And this basically really shows the importance of good SEO, optimizing your listings and researching your keywords, pricing correctly and making good thumbnails. You know, a lot of people start an Etsy store, they guess what keywords they should be using, they don't really focus on their thumbnails, and they either price too high or price too low. But you've got to think Etsy is essentially a search engine, so you've got to make your listings easily findable. And obviously this backs it up because Etsy are bringing in pretty much 80% of the traffic. It says here that I brought in 21% of the visits, and a big chunk of that was direct and other traffic. Now, it doesn't really say what direct and other traffic is, so I can only assume it is Google searches. You know, the shopping tab, I can only assume it's that, which again shows why you need good SEO, because that is a lot of traffic from what I can only assume is Google. Okay, so that's a breakdown of the sales and analytics and kind of the time frame of how long it took me to reach 1,000 Etsy sales with this print-on-demand store. So moving on now, I'd like to talk about Etsy ads and kind of what they've done for my store and how they've sped up the process and helped me reach 1,000 sales a lot quicker. So with Etsy ads, I was a little bit reluctant to run them. So as you can see, I didn't start them until May 2024. They didn't do the best, so I turned them off. I didn't really know what I was doing properly with Etsy ads, but I gave them another go in October 2024, and I've been scaling them up ever since. And as you can see by the performance, they've been profitable. So I've spent $2,000 and in return I've got $5,000 back. So they're not massively profitable after you take away fees and fulfillment. However, one thing I have found when I've been using Etsy ads is it has helped the listings I'm promoting rank higher organically. So while the ads might not be the most profitable, I have noticed a rise in organic sales and kind of where my listings are ranking on Etsy search. So if you can get a 2 to a 3, 4 return on ad spend, and even if you're just breaking even, it is worth, in my opinion, having Etsy ads on just so you can rank your listings higher. And also ads aren't all about the sales. So by paying for Etsy ads, I've been able to learn quicker what products my customers want and which thumbnails perform better. I want to talk about off-site ads now. So these are on-site ads, which you set a daily budget for and Etsy can spend it. And off-site ads, basically Etsy advertise your listings on places like Google, Pinterest, Facebook, and if somebody clicks and purchases, you only pay when you make a sale. So as you can see, off-site ads have brought me in 4,600 in sales, and I've spent 662. So these are much more profitable than on-site ads. However, they do take a 15% fee, but you only pay that fee if you make a sale. Whereas with on-site ads, you pay in regardless of if you make a sale. So these are on-site ads are riskier than off-site ads. So I will say it is worth having off-site ads on your Etsy store if your profit margin allows it. And also, if you make more than $10,000 in sales in a 12-month period, the 15% fee is discounted to 12%. So yeah, off-site ads for me, as you can see, they've been really profitable, and they've basically contributed to around 25% of my overall Etsy sales. Okay, so now I want to talk about sales and discounts and how I've used automated offers within Etsy to really boost the overall revenue of my Etsy shop. So I've got 3 automated offers set up based on customer actions. So I've got a abandoned basket, a thank you, and a favorited item. So I'm going to go through each one now and show you just how effective they've been in increasing my revenue. So the biggest one is the abandoned basket automation. You can see this has been sent 400 times and it's converted 93 times. That is a ridiculous conversion at nearly 25%. All it is I offer 10% off if a customer puts something in their basket but they don't check out, and that expires 60 days after the email is sent. And as you can see, that has contributed to an extra $3,000 worth of revenue. So if I didn't have this automation set up, then I basically would have lost nearly 100 sales and $3,000 worth of revenue. Moving on, I've got a thank you code. Now this one doesn't convert very well whatsoever. As you can see, 320 emails sent and only 4 people have used it, but still $100 in extra revenue. I don't really know why this one doesn't convert as good as this one. Maybe the percent needs to be higher. I'm only offering a discount of 15%, so maybe if I offered 25-30%, that would convert a lot higher. It's probably worth testing. And then the one that performs the absolute worst is the favorited item discount. As you can see, this has been sent out 1,800 times and only 1 person has used it, $30. And I think this one converts really, really poorly because it is just 5% off. So I'm thinking of restructuring my automated offers. I'm thinking of having this one at 10%, this one at 20%, and this one at 15%, and testing that over a couple of months and seeing if the emails convert better. But still, over $3,000 have been generated in revenue just from having these simple automations set up in my Etsy store. So if you haven't got these set up, I 100% recommend setting them up because, you know, it's extra revenue at the end of the day. Yeah, you're giving people a discount, but a sale's a sale, and as long as you're making profit, you might as well have it turned on. Another thing I recommend doing is having this set up, encourage bigger orders. So what I do is offer 25% off when a customer buys 2 or more items. Now, this offer is quite annoying because you can only run it for a month at a time. I'd like this on my store active all the time, but for some reason Etsy only lets you run it for a month. So these are the analytics from 22nd of March to the 21st of April. 12 people used it and it gave me an extra $600 in revenue. Now, if I didn't have this offer on my store, I probably wouldn't have got those extra 12 bundles because it would have cost the customer more. So yeah, this section was just showing the importance of having automated emails set up on your store and just taking advantage of Etsy's offers system. Now, moving on to the final segment of the video, the profit breakdown from 1,000 Etsy sales. So this is how much I've spent on Printify on this Etsy store, $11,000. I couldn't convert it into pounds on Printify, so here is the conversion from Google. Approximately £8,300 spent on fulfillment through Printify. This was my year from January 2024 to December 2024. Net profit 11,193, and this is the same thing from January 2025 to April 2025. Net profit of just under 5,000. So what I've done is basically added this number together with this number, and I've subtracted the Printify cost, and that has given me an overall profit from 19,000, just under £8,000 in profit, which is a profit margin of 40%. Now, obviously, I'm aware I've been running this Etsy store for 15 months, I believe. £8,000 in profit isn't a crazy number for a little over a year, but Etsy, like I say, it is just on the back burner for me and I'm lazy with it. It runs just off SEO, and if I put more time into it, uploaded more listings, I could definitely get more sales. Like I say, these are my Shopify stats. I put much more of a focus on my Shopify than I do with my Etsy. Like I say, the numbers, they're around 6 times higher on Shopify. But what I would like to do with my Etsy store in the future is focus more on evergreen listings and kind of boosting how much I can make on Etsy passively. So that's something I'm going to work on over the next couple of months. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you took some value from it. And yeah, this was just kind of a run through of how long it took me to get 1,000 Etsy sales, what my traffic was looking like, my ad spend and my overall profit. And I will see you next week.